Okay, this is, now you can get as close as you're comfortable getting, sweetheart. If you prefer to just stay back, that's fine too.
Stay here for now.
This is our first inspection since the lid blew off in the storm. Some of what I say is just going to be for the camera. This frame I don't have numbered. It's one of the most recently added. And it is being used for nectar only. It's only about 30% drawn. This side we have capped honey and nectar. And let me borrow that. Oh. I wrote using that pen on them, and the rain took it all off because that's water soluble ink.
Oh.
All right, well, let me just start over then. So I'll place it back in. Oh, did I leave those frames at home? I think I must have. That's all right. If they've got this much space on this frame, I think it's not an urgent need for more room yet. I'm going to move the divider board out a little bit. I'm just going to number them from this end where the entrance is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, on frame 9, write down 30% drawn nectar and honey. This frame is frame 8. This one is more nectar and honey. Uh-oh. I see at least one cell that seems to have multiple eggs. I don't know what to make of that. I see some frames that appear to have once been brewed, and I'm not sure if they are dead. Did you bring your phone, Nan?
Yeah.
If I could borrow it for a quick photograph.
So there's something to fly hard, like around the entrance.
I might need to smoke it. Here, if you get the camera open for me, I'll puff the smoker. quite sure what to make of that. But this frame is mostly honey and nectar.
Is it a number?
Huh? Yeah, this is frame 8, same one. What? I can't hear you.
How much?
Oh, it's probably about 30% drawn as well. A little bit of pollen here and there. I don't see anything indicative of a laying worker on this frame. All right, frame 7. Okay, frame 7 is a brood frame. And I think some of the brood may be dead from the cold from the storm. I see some healthy larvae. I see some cells with a single egg in them. There's brood and lots of resources on this frame.
Do you have a percentage drawn?
I'd say probably 60% drawn. Oh, and there's the queen. Yay! Looking for the bee with the yellow dot on her back. Hopefully that's visible in the camera. Alright, so the queen is currently on frame 7. That's further away from the entrance than I thought she would be. And I think that might be because I have the second, third, and fourth entrances to this hive set to vent. Somebody told me that it's the airflow that makes the queen decide where to lay. And so I'm giving her more choices than she normally would have. So she's kind of wandering all over. I believe that I'm seeing a definite decline in the number of bees in the colony, but not catastrophically. Okay. A lot more brood, some resources. This brood, my suspicion is that some of it may also be dead. I don't know how to know for sure except just to wait. I see some healthy larvae in there too, so maybe that's not the case. Maybe they're just older brood cells that are nearer ready to hatch. I'm not seeing any signs of queen cups or anything like that. Those would be indicators that the bees are thinking of swarming. So the absence of that is a good thing. Lots of brood on this frame. Lots lots of resources on this frame. See both nectar and pollen or bee bread, I think.
And fully drawn?
What?
Fully drawn?
Yeah, this one is fully drawn. All right, now we're going to be looking at frame 5. All right, frame 5 is another one being used for brood and resources. Looks like recently laid brood or recently capped brood. It's not as dark in color. Definitely see fresh larvae, some just about ready to be capped. So in terms of reproduction, I'm much reassured that the queen is doing a great job. I'd say this one is, I don't know, what would you call that, 75%? 60s? Yeah. 75% drawn. And a lot of it seems very freshly drawn. So I think after the rain, they started to produce new comb quickly. All right, I'm going to try to clean up this frame a little bit. We've had some bees squashed on it, unfortunately. All right. Such a docile bunch. You're just not giving me any trouble at all. They have, by the way, cleaned up all the dead bees that were reported to me after the storm. All right, we're about to take a look at frame 4. Look at how many bees are on this one, man. All right, brood, bee bread. Oh, for the first time I see some drones and honey. Okay, Nana, I'll show you something here. See, this is capped brood. See how much taller these are? The ones that look like the end of a bullet or something?
Yeah.
Those are drone brood. And where you see the real dark orange stuff, usually not filling a cell, but at the bottom of a cell, you see some up here. That's called bee bread. They stuff pollen there, and then some nectar, along with enzymes from their own digestive system. And it ferments to preserve the pollen, and bee bread and nectar is what they feed to the larva.
Is it fully drawn?
Yeah, fully drawn. We're near enough to count. There's like a half-inch gap at the bottom, but other than that, on the back side of this one, there's a lot of honey and nectar. Some of the honey's in places where there once were brood. See a few more drone cells, lots of regular brood, honey, bee bread, everything a brood frame needs. Okay, so I'm starting to conclude that the reason the queen was all the way out on frame 7 is because she has laid brood and everything closer to the entrance is the way it looks. She had to move out that far because everything else was filled, which means we are going to have a population explosion soon. All right, frame 3. So I've got something people might be interested in seeing down there. You see the one bee struggling up with another bee? That is an undertaker bee. He's found the carcass of one of those bees that I scraped off, and he's going to carry it away from the hive and just drop it somewhere. That's what he's doing. All right, we haven't lifted 3 yet, right?
Number 3.
All right, let's call this one 90%. 90% drawn. Honey, brood, and freshly drawn comb. So this was one that I added fairly recently, and they had not fully drawn it, but I think the population boom has them prioritizing more space, and so what did I say, 90%?
Yes.
That's probably about right. Move off the bottom?
Yeah, they're on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, let me take a look at what they're doing down there. So they are probably trying to draw more comb down there. They won't have a whole lot of room to do it. The reason I wanted to take another look was because sometimes they'll put a queen cup down there to make a new queen. So I just wanted to be sure that there wasn't one there yet. Okay, sorry I dropped it a little hard. Settle down. Mean you no harm. Okay. 2 left. this one's heavy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, fully drawn, brood frame, plenty of resources, ton of bees hanging on it, capped honey. It's all worker brood, no drone. Ooh, lots of honey on this side. More brood. So let me just show the camera what we got here. Just lots and lots of bees. All right, and one more. Frame number one. One of these days I'm going to be videotaping an inspection. I'm going to get stung. Just because I've talked about how I haven't been stung once yet. Okay. Now this one could get messy on me because they've started building at a slight angle. So what I need to do is pull out my, what? What's that? Yeah. I need to pull out my level and make sure that it's not because it's hanging crooked. This is another brood frame. Nothing seems concerning about it. It has plenty of resources. I don't see any queen cups. The only problem is that at the bottom they're building away from the wire. Oh, that wind just about took it out of my grip. That would have been bad. I bet I would have been stung if I'd dropped this frame right out. Yeah, they are flying. Oh, 95%. Down we go. Now I will push them all back together. And I've removed the feeder. And I've got several frames where they've got plenty of room to keep drawing. So I'm probably not going to make a trip back today for the other frames. But in the next few days, I'll do that. All right, Nan, come here. I want to show you something. See that brown stuff down there around that hole? That is called propolis. That's bee glue. And ultimately, they've been building it up between each frame to keep things tight. That's why I use the tool to pry things apart. Eventually, in the winter, they will seal this lid down tight. They'll seal everything right together. And if they're getting too much air through there, then they will also block off entrances. Oh, that's not good. I had some water damage here from the rain. It looks like they had patched it already, and whatever coloration made it hard to see the patching is gone now. So that plywood is splitting out a little bit. As long as the lid stays on, it won't be a long-term problem. I think I need to, part of me wants to close the vents, but in these temperatures I think I better leave them on, leave them open. All right, so that's all for today.